morning, everyone. Happy Monday on my way to work. And I've been thinking a little bit recently about gumball machines and what they have to do with goals. I want to share something with you that I think is fascinating. This is a little visual to help you understand the value of time management and also where you spend your time, who you spend it around, things of that nature. You know, it's a topic that I speak about frequently because it's extremely important to your setting your goals because it has to do with your priorities, where you put your time, how you spend your time, and being productive and efficient. The program, 3x5 goal setting program, is flexible enough that you can accommodate life in general into your goal setting program, but stringent enough that at any given time, if you're not sure what to do, you know exactly what to do because it's all right here. So that said, let's talk about gumball machines for a second because there's something very interesting that happens with a gumball machine that is very applicable to life, to success, and to achievement. And you probably didn't know this, but you're about to. So a gumball machine has inside of it, the way that it works, I guess, this little lever, this device that has a crank and it turns inside. You don't see this part. You put your quarter in and you turn the knob, and that has little gears that turn inside this little contraption that has a little opening right there that faces the gumballs. And there's just enough space in that contraption to hold one gumball. So when you haven't put a quarter in, it's sitting there and the gumball fills the space. You put the quarter in and you turn the crank and it spins around and it releases that gumball down into the chamber below, and you open the lid and you get it. And then the next one that turns it, the chamber turns back into where the gumballs are, and what happens? Another gumball surely fills the space again. So you can't not have a gumball fill the space. Something is going to fill the space. Okay, it might be a red one, it might be a blue one, it might be a green one. You don't know. But something will fill the space. And that, my friends, is a principle that we can all learn right there. Everybody's busy. Have you ever heard somebody say they're not busy? How's life? Oh, it's busy. That's everybody's answer, right? We're all busy. And nobody has time. They're just sitting around doing nothing. Everybody is busy. So, busy doing what? If you don't plan your day, if you don't know intentionally going into your day, your life, your week, your month, something else will fill that slot, okay? You might be wanting to do green gumballs. And if you don't intentionally fill that slot with your green gumballs, that chamber's going to turn back around. It might be a yellow one, red one, blue one. Could be any color that fills that slot, but something will fill your slot. So your day is going to get full of something. Every day is going to get full of something. The key is you controlling that something, because if you don't, someone else will. Okay? It's just like influence. Let's say you're a parent. I love this. I've got 5 kids. I am a parent, and one of the things that I am trying to do is be an influence in the life of my children. If you're a parent, I would hope you feel the same, but if I'm sure you've at least recognized the need for your influence in the life of your child. Because if you're not teaching them something, someone else is. They're going to learn it from somewhere. Whatever it is, if you're not teaching your kids about the dangers of drugs, just picking something, someone else is going to teach them. But you rely on that other person's knowledge, and it may be good and it may be bad. But that other person's, not knowledge, but that other person's experience. So somebody who's a drug dealer is going to teach about drugs much differently than, let's say, a cop, a police officer is going to be teaching someone about drugs, right? I mean, those are extreme examples, but you get the idea. So if you're a parent and you want to have an influence in the life of your child, you've got to beat the rest of the world to it by having regular conversations with your children around the dinner table, at night before bed. You've got to be an influence, and you've got to be proactively filling that slot, so to speak, because if you don't, someone else will. The slot's never going to go empty. When you turn the gumball machine, as long as there's gumballs in the machine, when you turn that crank, a gumball's coming out, okay? And a gumball never doesn't come out. As long as the machine has a gumball in it, it's designed and engineered this way. It's going to fall in the chamber. One and only one will fall in the chamber. You turn the handle, it will come to you, and you can eat it for 25 cents, right? They have engineered it to work that way perfectly every time. If there was a problem and it jammed or it didn't produce gumballs, well, there'd be enough complaints, they wouldn't make any money. People would be all over that, especially in today's social media world. But the chamber will never come up empty. Your time chamber will never come up empty. Something is going to take up your time. And you know what it's going to be? It's going to be Facebook. It's going to be YouTube. It's going to be Netflix. It's going to be video games. It's going to be a book. It's going to be a nap. Something will fill that slot. Are you deciding what that something is? Or is the world deciding for you? Is life deciding for you? Because if life is deciding for you, that's not good because you're not in control. You're not in the driver's seat, right? I always try and teach my kids that whatever they do, they need to be intentional with it. So what do I mean by that? And my kids misinterpret all the time. They think that I'm always saying, or they think that when I say something like that I'm suggesting they always need to be working. They should be cleaning their room. They should be, in the backyard pulling weeds or something like all the time. They think like, Dad, come on, I got to have a break. I want to rest. I want to sit and take a nap sometimes. Or you know what? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying don't do that. I meditate every day, and all that is sitting there with your eyes closed, thinking as little as possible, right? If you meditate, the whole goal is to get all of your thoughts out of your brain, empty your head, and it's actually really hard to do. But I do that every morning as part of my morning ritual, and I take naps when I can sometimes, especially on Sundays. I love a good Sunday nap. But what I'm trying to teach my kids, what I'm trying to teach you right now is make that intentional. If you want to spend time on Facebook, spend time on Facebook. Nobody's saying that's bad. If you want to take a nap, if you want to take a break and play some video games, life isn't meant to just all be work and 100% productive and so stringent that there's no fun. There's no time for play. Your brain needs play. It's designed that way. It's supposed to have an outlet of recreation, and you've got to work out. You've got to eat right. You've got to work. You've got to be productive, but you also have to have time for playing, productivity or creativity. So yes, absolutely, but have a plan. Don't just go in blind. See, that's the problem with my kids. They'll say, yeah, I want to go play video games. All right. And then 2 hours later, they're still playing video games. And I say, well, what was, how much time did you say or are you over on your time? I don't know. They weren't looking at the clock. They weren't paying attention to anything. They just went on and played. And they just keep playing until somebody says stop, right? So same thing with you as you're setting your goals and doing things, if you enjoy a good nap, a good walk, if you enjoy just going to the park and sitting, there is nothing wrong with that. Nobody says you have to stay productive 100% of your day. In fact, if you can truly be productive in beast mode, productivity, just a few hours a day is going to accomplish a lot. There's so much unproductivity with our time, especially with multitasking and getting bounced around with different things. If we can focus in on one thing for just a couple of hours at a time, you can get an amazing amount of work done. But it takes some practice to do that. So live intentionally. The ball is going to fall down in the chamber. It might be a yellow one, green one, blue one. I don't know what color it's going to be. But a ball is going to fall in the chamber. Your goal as an achiever, as someone who is on the road to success, your goal is to control that. And if you don't, know that life will. And eventually life will pass you by, and you'll spend years and you'll look back and you'll wonder what in the world happened with all my time? What did I do, right? So just some thoughts on time management, raising kids, and gumball machines. Crazy stuff. This is what goes through my brain, but hey, you get to share it with me. Have a nice day. Make sure you set your goals, achieve your goals. Goals are so important. Make a to-do list and get organized and follow a written plan every day. If you have questions, you can get a lot of information on 3by5goals.com. You can follow me here, follow me on Facebook. I'd love to have comments and welcome a discussion below. So if you have some thoughts on this, write your thoughts below. It's kind of a hokey little analogy with the whole gumball machine, but I think there's a lot of truth to it. There's a lot, and there's a lot we can learn from being intentional with our time and controlling all of our time. Whether it's a nap or whether it's beast mode productivity, we have controlled our time and we have allowed ourselves and we have given ourselves permission to do that particular thing with that particular time slot. That's intentional living.